Howdy gamers and gamettes. Yesterday was a really sad day because we lost Isolde. Isolde was a huge part of this deck's combo game, being able to add follow-up, being able to dump things like Phoenix Blade and Angel Ring to the graveyard to give you more interruptions and more extension with your combos. And now the deck has to be played a different way. So you might have already seen Pack's super heavy list, and Crimson Maycry also made an adventure list plus combo guide for the post-ban list. I have just been really liking the way that the current build of the deck plays before the ban list. So I don't really want to mess around with the adventure stuff because I think the engine is too big, and the super heavy stuff because it restricts your deck building in a specific way that I don't like. I think not being able to play Lightning Storm and evenly matched in a format where Labyrinth and Rescue Ace are probably going to be the top dogs for a while. You know, that doesn't feel too great to me. So you can see my current list here. If you haven't seen any of the post-ban list decks, basically you just cut down on a lot of the equips. And you can also cut the connector package because, you know, before Neospace Connector was a one-card Isolde, but now it's not. It doesn't really do much of anything on its own anymore. So you actually free up a good amount of deck space for other things. And the way that I've decided to build this is kind of a Power Tool Braver Dragon focused build, because I think this card does bring a lot to the table. So you can see here I am kind of maxing out on the Diabellstar stuff as well as the Kashtira package. And the main reason for that is because we want to use a level 7 and a level 1 tuner to make Excel Stardust. And then Excel Stardust will bring back the level 1 tuner to go into Power Tool Braver. Now, if you don't know what this card does, if it's special summoned, you can equip up to 3 equip spells with different names from your deck or graveyard to this card. And during the main phase quick effect, send an equip spell equipped to this card to the graveyard. Target effect monster on the field, either change its battle position or negate its effects. So it's like an on-field negation effect. So on its own, it's very nice. But the main thing for the combo aspect is that you can use Power Tool to equip Almace, Durandal, and Joyous at the same time. And what this lets you do is use Durandal to search Ogier, dump any Fire Warrior, and then use Joyous to bring back what you dumped with the Ogier. So it's a way that you can take drawing the Diabellstar cards and turning it into a 2-card Infernoble combo. And that's the basic gist of it. The only card that the deck didn't play before that we play now is Jet Synchron. And I think you probably could get away without playing Jet Synchron, but the fact that it's 2 level 1 tuners just off of one body does come up a lot. Because, for example, you can use it the first time to make Power Tool. Well, I guess you can use Jet Synchron 2 ways. Number 1 is after you use all of your equip spells off of Power Tool, you can bring it back and then make Barone. And the other use case is using Jet Synchron at the end of your turn so that you can use your Charles Synchro equipped to your Emperor Charles and Jet Synchron to make the Barone at the end of your turn. So it can be used 2 ways to make Barone, either at the start of your turn or at the end of your turn. Just depends on, like, do you want to play around Nib or do you want to play around Droll? The Diabellstar cards do play pretty well to avoid Droll and Lockbird, so there's that. But this is just kind of like my day 1 testing and deck list and whatever, and I'm probably going to make a bunch of changes as I test it more, but that's the general concept. So let me show you a few combo examples here. So this is going to be the first combo with Museum plus Wanted. Infernoble has a lot of really easy ways to get fodder for the Diabellstar cards, and Museum is one of the best ones. because you can use Museum to search for an equip spell and then just send it away. So we're going to go ahead and grab our Diabell Star. We're going to use Museum to grab our Joyous here. And we're going to send a random card out of our hand to summon the Diabell Star. We're going to grab the Sinful Spoil Snake Eye. We're going to send the Museum away to summon the Jet Synchron. Go up into Stardust and into the Power Tool Braver. And don't forget to draw a card off of the Sinful Spoils as well. So Power Tool Braver is going to equip the Durandal and the Almace. Now, you don't have to search off of Museum because you can just equip Joyous from deck if you want to play around Droll. Which honestly is probably the better way to do that, now that I'm thinking about it. So we're going to use Durandal to add Ogier, and we're going to use our normal summon on the Ogier, dumping Renaud to the grave. And then we're going to use our Joyous to add back the Renaud effect, grab back anything you want here. We've used all of our equipped spells already, so you can just add one back to use as fodder. Next we're going to go into Angelica and grab another copy of the field spell. Field spell, grab another copy of Durandal. We can use any fodder equip spell targeting the Angelica to trigger her effect to tag out, while also dumping a Turpin, and then bring back Turpin because the Almace is still equipped to the Power Tool. Make our Charles. Then go up into our Emperor Charles, equip the level 9, special the level 9, and then here's where the Jet Synchron comes into play, because we can discard another random card, you know, the one you drew off of the Wanted, probably a good thing to do. And then this makes your Barone. And then you can use, you know, whatever effects you have engraved to equip. Right, and this gets even better if you hard drew the Renaud, you can send Gearfried to the grave instead, and then use Joyous to add Gearfried. So you would have like another negation on the board. Or if you already hard drew the Gearfried, then, you know, just summon that bad boy out. And then of course you get all of the end phase effects here to, you know, proc the Magus, you know, shuffle back some of your resources, draw a card to try to replenish some of your hand advantage there. Maybe draw some hand traps. But you can see we're kind of back. The deck basically just lost all of the support it got from Agov in the form of Angel Ring. So we're kind of just doing like, what's it called? Duelist Nexus end boards again. We're going backwards back to the Duelist Nexus end boards because we don't have Angel Ring. And some people have been messing around with the, there's like an Infernoble card that you can discard it to equip Angel Ring from deck to a monster you control. Which I think is worth testing because it's a searchable way to get to Angel Ring that you can search off of like Durandal or Heritage or something. But you can see here we're kind of just back to the standard end boards here. You know, just the only difference being we have a Power Tool on board, and getting to the Gearfried isn't usually as consistent as it used to be. And here is another example of the Power Tool line, but this time we're going to start with Fenrir instead of Museum. So we can add our Diabell Star, summon out Fenrir, grab a Rise Heart, pitch the Rise Heart for Diabell Star, grab the Snake Eye, summon out the Jet Synchron, go for Stardust up into the Power Tool, draw a card off the Wanted. Power Tool, grab all 3 equips. And we can go for the Durandal, grab Ogier, dump Renaud, Joyous, add Renaud. And again, if you hard drew Renaud, or if you drew Heritage or Rhoda to get to Renaud, then you can dump Gearfried, and then Gearfried obviously is super powerful in this position. Go up for our synchro plays, and from here on it just kind of plays, it plays very similar to the last combo. Alright, we're just synchro climbing up in Charles, making our Link, summoning back out, using the Jet Synchron to make Barone, and you can see here we're back in the same spot where we have the Monster Negate, the Spell Trap Negate, the Omni Negate, And then you can pop Magius during end phase to get an additional draw. You know, try to draw into some more interruptions from the hand. So you can see the value of Power Tool. You know, being able to just, instead of Isolde, like dumping all of your equips to grave, you can use Power Tool to just equip all of your equips from the deck instead. Unfortunately, Power Tool can't equip Angel Ring, because Angel Ring has a restriction that it must already be equipped to a monster that has equip spells already equipped to it, so it doesn't quite work the way that it probably should off of Power Tool, but that is the downside there. Here's another example of drawing Heritage plus Wanted, or technically it's going to be Ogier plus Wanted. So we're going to use Ogier. We're going to dump Gearfried here, and we're going to go for our Diabellstar line now. Diabellstar set the Snake Eye. Snake Eye, we're going to actually send the Ogier away for Jet Synchron. Draw our card, and then we're going to go up into the Power Tool line to get our 3 equips. Joyous Effect, add the Gearfried back to hand. Durandal Effect, add Turpin to hand. And then what we can do now is go for Jet Synchron, discard Turpin, and since we have a monster equipped with an equip card, we can actually summon out the Turpin here to make our Angelica. You should have summoned Gearfried here, right, because you have plenty of equips in grave already, and you also have the Almace on field, so you should definitely summon Gearfried here before doing all this. I didn't because I'm a dummy. Okay, so I summon it out here. And now we're going to use the Wanted. We're going to go for searching a random equip, targeting the Angelica here. And then we're actually going to use the Museum effect to summon the Ogier, which is, you know, not as good as... You know, obviously, if you drew the field spell already, you could, you know, use the field spell again to summon out the Charles. But this is another line where you get the Charles and the Gearfried and Power Tool. So you can see the deck just it doesn't really put up the same like infinite interruption boards anymore. The deck loses all access to Angel Ring unless you kind of resort to some unconventional means in order to do so. So I don't think this deck is necessarily dead, as a lot of the Isolde haters would like to believe. Like, it can still put up some good boards. You know, being able to play Fenrir and the Diabellstar cards in the main deck now is pretty strong. Like, these are just very, very, very efficient engines. And of course, the deck still has all of its consistency cards with, you know, triple Museum, triple Heritage, Rhoda, Durandal, you know, all of your normal Noble Knights here. So I don't think the deck is dead. I think there's still room for some experimentation. I think Power Tool has some potential because there might be some really janky equip spells out there that, you know, maybe people haven't really caught on to yet. You know, so Power Tool has access to, like, the entire pool of equip spells. And there maybe could be some hidden gems in here somewhere. Like some card that has gone under the radar for a long time. I don't know. I'd have to go and sift through all of these just to make sure there's no card that is just super good for this deck. Yeah, that's about it for this video. I think the deck, you know, there's room for experimentation. There's adventure stuff, there's super heavy stuff. There's lines that I showed you here where you kind of use the Fenrir, the Kashtira engine and the Diabellstar engine to substitute into your Infernobles using Power Tool. So I think there's room for experimentation. The deck definitely isn't dead, but boy is it a hell of a lot weaker.